Hello again. Welcome to class number 72. Pierre Monet, nuestro amigo Pierre Monet, traductor, intérprete en el Ministerio de Asuntos Exteriores francés, en el centro de Londres. Digo Londres, centro de París. Are you ready? Lo voy a hacer lectura rápida y luego tratamiento. Pierre Monet is 45 years old and lives in the suburbs of Paris. He's married and has 3 children. All of his children live at home except Gerard, who lives in a student residence not far from the Sorbonne, where he studies architecture. Pierre's a civil servant. He works in the translation and interpretation department of the foreign ministry in the center of Paris. Every day he goes by train and subway from his house outside of Paris to the ministry. It takes him almost an hour to go and about 45 minutes to come back in the afternoon. He leaves home at 7 o'clock and gets to the ministry just before 8. When he gets to his office, he always has a lot of letters and documents waiting for him. He's responsible for a very special area in his department. He decodes and translates all secret documents that come in English and Spanish. He speaks and writes both languages fluently. His wife is Spanish, and his mother is English. Pierre is an expert translator. He usually doesn't translate documents in writing. He dictates the translation directly into a microphone, and later a secretary transcribes the recording, la grabación, onto paper. This way, en español se dice in this way, de esta manera, de este modo. This way, Pierre translates very quickly. And finishes his work early. He usually goes home around 4 p.m. He doesn't have lunch. He doesn't have lunch in the dining hall or the dining room in the ministry. He takes a sandwich to work every day and eats it, o sea, el sandwich, at 12 o'clock sharp. Hombre de costumbres. At 12 o'clock, sharp. Sharp como puntiagudo o afilado. Sharp. Means in punto. 12 o'clock, sharp. 12 o'clock, on the dot. He prefers to continue his work without interruptions in order to go home as soon as possible. When he gets home, he starts his second job. Plurimpleo, como dije ayer. He's a freelance translator. He's a freelance, independent, autonomous. He's a freelance, curiosa expresión, libre lanza. Lanza de la Edad Media. Freelance, con guión en medio. A hyphen in the middle. Freelance, pero se dice, hasta en español se dice, él trabaja freelance. ¿Te suena, no? Freelance. Ok, viene el inglés. Libre lanza, literalmente. Cosas curiosas que la gente no sabe. He's a freelance translator, and he dictates his translations into his own microphone. Yes. The same evening, or the next morning, his wife, Anne-Marie, enters the recording into a computer, and sends it by email to Pierre's clients. Yes. Pierre has a good salary. Pierre has a good salary at the ministry, but he earns double at home. No está mal. He needs the money because his 3 children are very intelligent and all of them want to go to the university. Okay. It's Pierre Monet. How old is he? Excuse me. How old is Pierre? He's 45. Good. Does he live in Paris proper? Excuse me. Does he live in Paris proper? Paris proper? ¿Qué es Paris proper? París, término municipal. París, París. París, propiamente dicho, lo que es el término municipal. Does he live in Paris proper? No, he doesn't. Does he live in the suburbs? Yes, he does. La palabra suburbios en inglés, bueno, en español, tradicionalmente la palabra suburbios implicaba las afueras, pero de bajos niveles de ingresos. Pero en inglés no, sobre todo en inglés americano y canadiense. Suburbs es donde la gente más acomodada vive, para alejarse un poco del ruido de la ciudad. The suburbs. And he lives in the suburbs, outside Paris. How many children does he have? He has 3 children. Is he married? Yes, he is. What's his wife's name? Her name is Anne-Marie. All right. Do his children live at home? Well, 2 of them do, but 1 of them doesn't. Could you repeat the question? Do his children live at home? Verbo auxiliar, do. Sus hijos viven en casa. Do. My children, no. His children. Pierre's children. No lo encuentro. I can't find him. No está aquí, se me ha ido. Pierre, where are you? Bueno, Pierre está aquí, eh? So I'll point here. All right. Do his children live at home? Well, 2 of them do, but 1 of them doesn't. 2 of them do. Dos de ellos sí, otro no. 2 of them do, and 1 of them doesn't. Which one doesn't? Excuse me? Which son doesn't live at home? Which one doesn't? Gerard. How do you say Gerard in Spanish? Hombre, Gerardo. Gerard. Well, where does he live? Well, he lives in a student residence. Oh, a student residence. Yes, Gerard lives in a student residence. Where is the student residence? Well, it's near the Sorbonne. The Sorbonne. La Sorbona. Wow. The Sorbonne, yeah. He lives in a student residence near the Sorbonne. Does he attend the Sorbonne? Who? Pierre or his son Gerard? His son Gerard. Does Gerard attend? Asistir a. Attend no tiene tú, eh? Attend, asistir a, el a no hay en inglés. Attend the Sorbonne. Attend class. Does Gerard attend the Sorbonne? Yes, he does. Is he studying business? No, he's not. Well, what does he study? He studies architecture. Architectura, yes. The British say architecture, architecture. Very different. Architecture. He studies architecture. Is Pierre a civil servant? Yes, he is. How do you say civil servant in Spanish? Bueno, un empleado público o un funcionario. In English we say sirviente civil, o sea, sirve al público. He's a public employee. He's a civil servant. Does he work in a specific department? Yes, he does. Well, where does he work? Well, he works in the foreign ministry. Oh, really? Pierre works in the foreign ministry. Yes, Ministerio de Asuntos Exteriores. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or the Foreign Ministry. In Great Britain, the Foreign Office, la Oficina Foránea, dicen en Gran Bretaña. The Foreign Office. In the United States, el Departamento de Estado. The Department of State or the State Department. Yes. The Secretary of State. Secretary de Estado. In the United States is el Ministro de Asuntos Exteriores. Yes. The Pierre works in the foreign ministry. Really? Well, is he a diplomat? No, he's not a diplomat. Well, what does he do? Pierre. Yeah, what does he do in the foreign ministry? Well, he works in the department of translation and interpretation. Oh, is he a translator? Yes, he is. Okay. How does he go to work? By train and subway. By train and subway? Yes. From his house, he takes a train to the last stop of the subway, the underground. And then he goes down and takes the underground to the foreign ministry. How long does it take him? Excuse me. How long does it take him to go from his house to the ministry in the morning? Well, it takes him almost an hour. It takes him. It doesn't take me an hour. It takes me 15 minutes to come here. But it takes Pierre. It takes Pierre almost an hour to go to work in the morning. What time does he leave home? What time does he leave home? He leaves home at 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. Fine. What time does he get to the ministry? Bueno, I said it takes him almost an hour, so he gets to the ministry, I don't know, a little before 7. A little, poquito, a little before 7. Before 8. So he gets to the ministry at 7:55, 7:57, etc. Just before 8. All right. And what does he do when he gets to the office? Well, he starts translating. When he gets to the office, there are always, siempre hay, porque durante la noche, y se llega, es un ministerio. So during the night, when he gets to the office, there are letters and documents waiting for translation, waiting to be translated. Voz pasiva, con el participio, traducidos. Waiting to be translated. Okay. Is he responsible for anything special? Yes. Yes. He's responsible for a very special area of his department. And what area is that? Well, it's the secret documents, classified information, classified documents. So, Pierre has a special permission. Yes, he has special permission because he sees and reads and translates by microphone, classified documents, sensitive material sensible, o sea, clasificado. Hasta descodificarlo lo sabe. He decodes, tercer verbo singular, he decodes and translates all secret documents that come in English and in Spanish. He's trilingual. He's not bilingual. He's trilingual. Does he speak and write 2 languages? No. He speaks and writes 3 languages. Oh. Well, what languages does he speak and write? Well, of course, he speaks and writes French fluently. He speaks and writes Spanish fluently. And he speaks and writes English fluently. Perfectly. Wow. Why? Why does he speak Spanish fluently? Well, he speaks Spanish fluently because his wife is Spanish. Oh, his wife is Spanish. Yes. What's his wife's name? I don't remember. What his wife's name is. Creo que no viene. Anne-Marie. Bueno, Anne-Marie is a French name. Será Ana María. Es española. Como María Eugenia. Yeah, Marie Angénie. She was Spanish. And she was the wife of Napoleon III. Yes. But in any case, Anne-Marie. And so he speaks Spanish perfectly because his wife is Spanish. And why does he speak English fluently? Well, he speaks English fluently because his mother is English. Qué chollo, tener dos idiomas en casa, que sí. Yeah, así cualquiera, ¿no? Yeah, well, okay. But Pierre's an intelligent man. He's an intelligent man. Y tiene un sobrino curioso, además de 3 hijos, varones los 3. So, he decodes and translates confidential documents or secret documents into English or Spanish or into French from Spanish or from English. All right. Does he write the translations? No, he doesn't. He dictates the translations verbally. Yes. Pierre Monet tiene 45 años y vive en los suburbios o en las afueras de París. Está casado y tiene 3 hijos. So I'm translating this verbally into a microphone, and then Marta will write it, transcribe it onto paper. All right? So, where are we? I've lost my place. He usually doesn't translate the documents in writing. And why not? Because he prefers, it's faster. Más rápido. It's faster to dictate. So he's a very good translator. He doesn't need to think. He looks at it, fast. He's fast. He's an expert translator. And he dictates the translations into a microphone. And who transcribes the dictation? A secretary, a typist, transcribes the recording. The what? The recording. La grabación. Yes. He records the translation, or he dictates the translation into a microphone. And a secretary transcribes the recording onto paper, plasmado en el papel. Why does Pierre do this? Well, because it saves time. Yeah. This way he can translate quickly and finish work early. He likes to go home at 4 o'clock. Why? Well, why does he like to go home? Why is he in a hurry? Why does he like to go home at 4 o'clock? Well, because he has a second job. Really? Well, what does he do? He translates. But he translates freelance. Is that permitted? Yes, it's okay. And who helps him at home? His wife, Anne-Marie. Does he dictate the translations at home? Yes, he does. And what does his wife do? Well, she passes the translations into the computer, transcribes perhaps, and sends them to his clients. Okay. Does he have a lot of clients? I don't know. Does Pierre have a lot of clients in his private business? I don't know. But he has one very important client. Yeah. Who? Peugeot. Well, Peugeot. Yes and no. The chairman of Peugeot. The chairman of Peugeot sends all of his sensitive documents or sensitive communications to Pierre, and to translate into Spanish or to translate into English, or vice versa, something in Spanish or in English. Peugeot has a lot of business in the United States, Canada, Australia, Great Britain, and Peugeot, a grupo PSA. I mean, it's a big group, PSA. It's a big group. It has Peugeot, Citroën, ahora Opel. Me falta un nombre. I can't remember. Y no sé si están en conversaciones con Fiat. I'm not sure. It's a monster. It's a big company, very good company, PSA. And the chairman of PSA, when the chairman needs a translation, personally, for the chairman's office, he sends the work to Pierre. And Pierre translates it into Spanish or into English or vice versa. He translates a document from English into French or from Spanish into French. Does Pierre earn a lot of money? Well, he has a good salary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yes, he has a good salary. He has a good salary. Does he earn a good salary in his private business? Well, he doesn't earn a salary. He earns fees. Fees. Yeah, a fee. Fee. How do you spell it? How do you spell what? How do you spell fee? Fee. F-E-E. F-E-E. Como pies, pero sin la T. Bueno, sí. F-E-E. Fee. En plural, fees. Se suele decir bueno, se dice en plural mucho, fees. Igual que en español se dice honorarios. Y no mi honorario. Se dice mis honorarios. Se dice mucho en plural en inglés también, fees. He doesn't have a salary, he has fees, because it's independent. All right. So, does Pierre make a lot of money in the afternoon and evening? Yes, he does. How much does he earn? Excuse me? How much does he, Pierre, how much does he earn in the evenings? In the afternoon and evenings. I mean, what time does he start? Well, he gets home at 4:45, 5 o'clock, and he starts working. Does he have dinner? Yes, but usually at 6:30 or 7. He doesn't have dinner when he goes home. He starts working immediately. Well, he has a coffee at home and starts working. Yeah, but what time does he have dinner? He has dinner, I repeat, at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. But how much does he earn? How much does he earn in the evenings? Well, usually he earns about double, 2 times more than in the ministry. Twice as much. 3 formas de decir lo mismo, 2 veces más. Gana 2 veces más. Por libre que en el ministerio. Y no le pagan mal en el ministerio, ojo. So, he earns double. He earns 2 times more. He earns twice as much. Curiosa forma de decirlo. 2 veces tanto. Twice as much. Sin embargo, curiosamente, lo tercero, twice as much, es lo que más se dice, creo, en inglés. He earns twice as much freelance than in the ministry. So he earns less in the ministry. He earns more at home. But he works a lot. He works a lot. He needs the money. Yeah? Why? Why does he need the money? Why does he need the money? Well, he has 3 sons, and they spend a lot of money. Yeah. They go to the discotheque or to the club. They spend a lot of money. And all 3 boys are very intelligent. So, they're going to go to the best universities, and sometimes the best universities are expensive, student residence. Well, do the 3 boys, do the 3 sons, do they live with their parents? Do they live with their parents? Do I live with my parents? Do you live with your parents? Does she live with her parents? Does he live with his parents? Do they, los 3 hijos de Pierre, do they live with their parents? Yes and no. 2 of them, the 2 younger ones, 2 of them live with their parents. But the older one, Gerard, doesn't. He doesn't live with his parents. Well, who does he live with? Well, he lives by himself. Excuse me? He lives alone. He lives on his own. He lives by himself. 3 formas. He lives alone, vive solo. Pero no me gusta eso porque parece muy solitario. He lives alone. He lives by himself. Vive, bueno, by himself es también solo. pero suena un poco mejor en este caso concreto. He lives on his own. Me gusta más ese. On his own es casi por cuenta propia. Vive por cuenta propia. Suena raro en español, pero es así. He lives on his own. But where does he live? Well, he lives in Paris, in the city, in Paris proper. Good, but where does he live in Paris? Well, he lives in a student residence. Un colegio mayor. Bueno, sí, se dice aquí. A student residence. Good. Where's the student residence? It's near the Sorbonne. The Sorbonne. What's that? Well, it's probably the most famous university in France, the Sorbonne. It's on the left bank, orilla izquierda del Sena in Paris. It's on the left bank, not too far from the Luxembourg Gardens, or not too far really from the Invalidas or from the Eiffel Tower. But he lives in a student residence near the Sorbonne. And what is he studying? He's studying architecture. Okay, tomorrow we will continue with more people. Take care.